Wheels. They're so overrated. Sure, all cars have 4 of them, because if you only had 3, then, well, it would... You know, let's let Adam Yamaguchi explain.
We've been driving cars for over 100 years. Advances in design and technology have made them sleeker, faster, and more fuel efficient. But they've always had 4 wheels to be called a car. Even though this looks like a fancy motorcycle, it is in fact a car with 3 wheels. It seats 2 people, gets 84 miles per gallon on the highway, and only costs $6,800. It's called the Elio, and it's the auto innovation of Paul Elio, who dreamed of having his own car company as a kid. I made the trip to Troy, Michigan, outside of Detroit, Motor City, to see how they could possibly build a car today for the same price as a new one in 1979.
So this is the prototype shop in Metro Detroit where the first Elios have been made.
So tell me a little bit about your background. How did you get to where we are today?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I mowed 130 lawns a week when I was a kid, called it Elio & Associates, Attorneys at Lawn. I had a pizzeria briefly, but I didn't give up. And then eventually I went back to school for engineering and found my passion.
It took a while for that passion to turn into a paying job. He did work in the auto industry as a taxi cab driver, and he did become an engineer. But a company he started went out of business in 2008. Paul couldn't pay his bills, and nobody would hire him.
I had hundreds of resumes out from high-end jobs that I was qualified for down to baristas at the local coffee shop. I could not get an interview.
Those impediments inspired him to take a risk, and with some financial help from a college friend, Paul started Elio Motors to build a compact, fuel-efficient car, perfect for commuters and students, at a price you can afford and still keep that SUV in the driveway.
And here it is, the Elio.
Wow. Now, this looks like it's just been delivered from the future.
In configuration it is, but it's all current technology. So the inspiration is at highway speeds, most of your fuel goes to movement air. So by sitting 2 people front to back instead of side by side, we double the mileage. So this vehicle gets 84 miles per gallon.
Wow. How safe is it going to be to drive this vehicle?
It's all automotive technology throughout. The airbags are the same as in a whole bunch of other vehicles. So it's got a front airbag and 2 side airbags. If you notice, it has a very long nose, and that's for crush zone. We have a very good crush zone to slow the accident down.
Paul highlighted some of the innovations that he hopes will make the Elio an affordable, fuel-efficient car. From a hood design that uses $3 latches versus a standard latch that costs $33, to a straight-edge rear fin that's more aerodynamic than a curved one, to even trimming 1.5 inches off the tire width to give you 2 more miles to the gallon.
Are you going to be comfortable back there?
Absolutely.
Paul easily climbed into the back, while I took the pilot's seat.
You feel that the car is just sort of wrapped around you. Now, how fast will I be able to drive one of these?
The 0 to 60 is 9.6 seconds, and the top speed is 107 miles an hour.
107 miles an hour?
Yes, so you can get a healthy ticket in this thing.
Even though cars won't roll off the production line until next year, you can pre-order one now online. And there's one thing for sure, it's the perfect car for doing donuts.
After a short break, raising the bar and plastic on a life-changing class project. That and vocabulary are up next on the Henry Ford's Innovation Nation. One of the biggest challenges facing mankind is getting clean drinking water for the 7 billion people who populate this planet. You've heard the term fight fire with fire? Well, there's one young man who's figured out how to clean water with water. For some of us, access to clean drinking water is as easy as this. But for 1 in 7 people on the planet, finding any water to drink requires a lot of effort, and oftentimes arduous and even dangerous travel. So student Deshaun Henry and Professor Jim Jensen of the University at Buffalo in New York State have come up with a low-cost way to purify water that little by little could change lives. It utilizes basic materials such as wood, plastic, water, and sunlight. It's called a water lens. Professor Jensen had been working on drinking water treatment issues for years. When Deshaun heard about this research, he made it his summer project. Professor Deshaun, welcome.
Thank you, Mo.
Thanks for having us, Mo.
So what is the clean water lens?
The water lens is really just a large magnifying glass. It gathers the sunlight and concentrates it into a focal point where we heat up the container of water.
Just the way that you might use a magnifying glass to heat up a spot on a piece of paper.
As you can see, pouring water onto the top of the plastic creates a type of lens. Then, by placing a container of water beneath that lens, properly positioned to capture the angle of the sun, the water beneath the lens begins to heat.
Well, the first time anybody thinks about heating water to make it safe to drink, you always think about boiling the water, but that's absolutely not necessary at all. In fact, it takes a tremendous amount of energy to bring water to the boil and to keep it there. We typically make our water about 140 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you keep it there for about 30 minutes to about 2 hours or so, you should kill all the organisms that cause disease.
Together, Deshaun and Professor Jensen learned that difficult problems don't necessarily need complicated solutions.
So the approach we're trying to make is really to empower people, to give them very simple tools where they can use natural materials that are around their own location to treat that water for themselves.
If this was able to influence the lives of people in many of the developing countries, that would make me feel joyful inside to know that I was able to help out people in need so that way they can be able to live longer, healthier lives.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Please don't ignore us, we have a thesaurus. Ali Ward has vocabulary next.
Welcome back! This is where I try to explain those moments in the show where you might have pretended to know what we were saying, but you were totally faking it. So I'm here to sneak you a definition or two under the table and nobody will know the difference. We call this vocabulary. In my story on the cool paint that lights up, this was said.
Today we're going to do the luminol coating process.
Okay.
First one is going to be our backplane, which is our conductive layer.
So I'm going to be honest. The definition of conductive is a teeny bit annoying, since it basically defines the word with other forms of the word. So stick with me on this. Conductive is an adjective. It means having conductivity or relating to conduction, as of electricity. But okay, now, in a nutshell, what it really means is that the electric current moves through the conductive layer, just like when electricity moves through a wire. You got it? Okay, cool. Now, moving on. In Adam Yamaguchi's story on the three-wheeled car, he said this.
Those impediments inspired Paul Elio to take a risk.
Now, impediment is a noun. It means something that interferes with the movement or progress. So Paul Elio drove right through what was blocking him, and he came up with his own car company. It's not bad. Now, if there was an impediment to the conductivity of the light paint, well, then something is going on the blink. And that is your vocabulary for the day. I'm Ali Ward.